Charisma on command went all wrong. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind Engineer community. Today, I want to talk about a video that I saw the other day. Sorry, turning on the camera. There we go. The other day, I saw a video of the guy from Charisma on Command. This guy is a guy that for several years now, he's been teaching how to be able to show charisma, right? With different types of behaviors, the way you speak, the way you stand, and many other different techniques to be able to show charisma, show confidence, right? And I love, don't get me wrong, it's great that you can learn different techniques, right? What to do and not what to do to show some confidence when you're around people in different circumstances, right? But I want to use this to in a way prove a point of why is it so important to do the inner work more than just learning tactics on how to behave. Because this guy, a couple of weeks ago, he was invited to the CEO Diary or Diary of a CEO. That is a huge YouTube channel out there where this guy does amazing interviews. So the guy from Diary of a CEO invited the guy owner of the channel Charisma on Command. So he went to the interview, to this podcast, and he did a video, this guy, explaining that when he was there in the Diary of a CEO in the podcast, he screwed up. He did everything that he teaches not to do, right, to show charisma, to show confidence in this show. So I want to bring this to our attention to say, okay, what happened that this guy has been teaching for at least 2 or 3 years people, and he has taught thousands, and he has a channel that has like 6-7 million people that follow him, right? Why was it that suddenly he was not able to show the techniques, the tactics that he himself teaches to others to show themselves as confident, to show themselves as charismatic? Because the truth is, the body speaks louder, right? The subconscious mind speaks much louder than what we want to think. So if you want to learn some tactics, how to show yourself as confident, we need to understand that whenever you're in a little bit of pressure, a little bit exposed or more exposed, whatever you've learned is going to go down the drain. And what's going to take, control is your subconscious mind. What you truly believe about yourself, not what you want to think about yourself. So if you believe that you're not good enough, if you have self-doubt, if you have low self-confidence, it doesn't matter how much you study, eventually that is going to come out. So I want to prove this because this guy from Charisma on Command, he has been teaching this for many, many years. And in this situation where he was exposed to a situation that was different to what he's normally used to, he went back to basics. He went back to whatever is in the back of his head, the subconscious mind that is running the show. So again, you can learn all you want about how to behave, how to speak, how to stand, how to communicate. But at the end, the subconscious mind is going to run the show. So if you have different limiting, negative, and false beliefs about yourself, if you don't work on them, doesn't matter how much work you do, eventually that is going to take over the subconscious mind, and you're going to show yourself with low confidence, lack of self-esteem, or whatever, right? Because again, what I've been talking lately is 55% of your communications is nonverbal, is the body language. And if we add to that 90% of your behaviors, your reactions come from your subconscious mind, it doesn't matter if you trained yourself to try to believe that you're good enough. If you truly believe that you're not good enough because you didn't work on it, don't get me wrong, you just try to convince yourself, that is going to come out. So what this guy experienced in Charisma on Command, the guy from Charisma on Command, in this Diary of a CEO, it brought up his unresolved issues. Because if you look at the videos, you see himself, crossing his arms, kind of in a protective mode, right? Because he was scared. He was scared of making a mistake. He was scared of screwing up. So what that shows is that he still has, and it's okay, I'm not judging, I'm just saying that we all have this unresolved issues from our past. So we just try to cover them up with a new mask, as many people out there teach us that who do we want to become? I would rather invite people to become who they are really meant to be and get rid of what they made up in their mind of who they are not. That's the idea of this work, to be able to spot who do we think we are not. Like, I'm not good enough, I'm inadequate, there's something wrong with me. All these limiting negative and false beliefs that we have learned during childhood and we're still carrying. So many people out there are spending a lot of time, a lot of money, you know, in courses, in programs, working with people to try to become someone else because deep down they don't like who they think they are. And what I invite people is to realize that what you think, who you think you are, normally these negative self-images, are not true about you. But when you try to become someone else, you are not truly discovering who you truly are. So the idea is to be able to explore the mind, access the subconscious mind, to start identifying these negative self-images that you have about yourself that could be running the show or could run the show in the future if we don't work on them. So again, no matter what mask you put on, how good you get at putting mask on yourself, eventually it's going to happen when you get nervous, we're under pressure, when you're tired or whatever, that mask is going to fall apart. So instead of building a mask that is just building a mask over a mask that you have, let's learn how to remove the mask and show who you truly are. I've never done any training on charisma, on self-confidence. I had some people that gave me like a pointer of, try not to, when you're standing in front of people and giving a speech, try to cross your arms, things like that, like very, very basic. The rest, I've been able to really improve in my communications, in my stance and everything, because I'm connecting with who I truly am. The more I believe in myself, the more I remove the masks, the more that self-confidence, self-esteem, that charisma comes out naturally, not the other way around. I don't need to build a mask over a mask to pretend that I have charisma, to pretend that I have confidence, to pretend that I have a high self-esteem. No, I don't need that. And it hasn't been easy. I've done a lot of work. I even was in national TV in my country and I screwed up in the interview. I was able to make it through. Even, I had taken a piece of equipment and I was trying to show how it worked and it never worked. So I had to improvise in the middle of the interview in national TV. And it wasn't comfortable. But as I had been working a lot on myself, I was able to navigate that situation, uncomfortable, but it didn't look very evident that I was very uncomfortable going through that. And that's the idea. The idea, guys, is to really work on who you truly are, not trying to learn tricks and how to put a mask on top of a mask to become someone else. That is because, again, what I tell people is we're so scared of our darkness, so scared of our shadows, so scared of our negative self-image that was created because of the environment we were in. Whenever we didn't feel loved, whenever we were judged, criticized, rejected, manipulated, when maybe our parents were not connected to us emotionally, or maybe our parents were not around enough because they had to work. We're not judging them. We're just starting to understand how their behavior impacted us. Whenever those things happen, bigger or less things to us, we started creating a negative self-image of ourselves. We started thinking, again, that there's something wrong with us, that we're broken, that we're not lovable, that we're not good enough, that we're inadequate. And those are the masks that you created during childhood. Because when we were kids, You were willing to take the world. You were willing to, jump, go up a ladder and jump like Superman and fly because you thought that you could fly. Or you would, drive your bicycle and you were taking the world and pretending that you were riding on a, motorcycle, and you would do things without caring what other people think about you. When we were babies or growing up, we were taking the world. You were able to learn how to walk, even though you fell many times. You learn how to talk, even you stutter, you tried many things, you made lots of noises at the beginning. You never stopped. What happened from there to now that suddenly you're procrastinating? You're scared of doing things. You're not being able to go out there because your confidence, your self-esteem was shattered growing up because of different circumstances, because suddenly you had to fit in into your family. Your family didn't accept you how you were. You were not accepted at school, maybe. You had to fit in at school. And different things that happened that destroyed your confidence, your self-esteem, your charisma. But I truly believe that we are all confident people. We all have high self-esteem, but we have, again, different programs in our mind that have disconnected us from that truth that we already are. And I love, there's a guy out there that he also, talks about behavior. He's a behavior specialist, right? He's been doing this for many years. And he says, confidence is an inner work. It's not something that I need to learn. You can learn a couple of things, right? Don't get me wrong, a couple of things. But if you know how to, like the guy from Charisma on Command, know exactly how to stand, how to speak, how to sit, how to show yourself confidence, charisma, and then suddenly in a show, everything goes down the drain, is because deep down he doesn't believe it. Doesn't matter how much he has learned, he doesn't truly believe it. This is important to understand. That's why I truly believe that the inner work is the most important thing, because that charisma, that confidence is going to come out. And yeah, maybe, you were talking in a way that, wasn't exactly the best. Okay, then we can tweak those things. But if you don't have the basics put together, when you are under pressure, your unresolved issues are going to come out. It doesn't matter how good you are at pretending. And this is what I want to really use this guy and as a way of teaching. Again, I'm not judging. It can happen to everyone. Don't get me wrong. It could even happen to me, of course. Don't get me wrong. But if a guy that has been doing this for so long lost it in a show and he did everything wrong, according to him, you can look at a video that he has on his YouTube channel, Charisma on Command. It means, and this is what I want to bring the learning from this. What can we learn from this? And we all have, I might have things that are wrong that I need to learn from. Don't get me wrong. I would love if a guy out there starts talking about something that I need to work on. Don't get me wrong. But in this case, working on learning tactics, things externally, might not do the right trick. Being able to really connect with yourself, connect with the self-confidence, connect with the charisma that is already inside of you will bring what you truly want. The rest are just external things that can help. Don't get me wrong, they can help, but they're not the solution. Because eventually, under pressure, you're going to start bringing out your unresolved issues. So I, in my case, would rather work on my unresolved issues to become more confidence because of who I am, more, bring up my self-esteem because it's already there, and bring the charisma that is already there. I don't want to put a mask over a mask because that's what a lot of people are doing. They have a mask of who they think they are, that they're broken, and, not good enough, not deserving, not lovable, whatever, because of the things they've learned from childhood, and they put a mask on that. It's like the Matrix, right? In the movie The Matrix, there's a matrix within the matrix to keep people controlled. And I love that. It's like, again, it's like we are born without any masks, and we create these masks to fit in. And over that mask, I'm putting another mask to try to fit in because now I'm supposed to be charismatic. I'm supposed to show myself as confidence. So I put a mask that seems that I'm confident, that seems that I'm charismatic. But deep down, maybe you don't believe it. And eventually, under pressure, that is going to fall apart. Your mask is going to fall apart. So I hope that makes sense so that we can truly work on becoming who we are meant to be. And yes, we're meant to be charismatic. No, but it was already there when we were kids. So it's becoming our true self. Nobody else. Not what others expect. Not how charisma should look like. Show charisma because of who you are in your own unique way. Not sitting straight like this because that's how you're supposed to show charisma and self-confidence. No, be you. Isn't that wonderful just being you? I would rather feel free to be me without worrying if I have my chin high, if I'm looking here, if I'm doing this, if I'm doing that. I'd rather be me, relax, chill, and then just let things unfold. Bring that freedom, right? That we are already. Bring that charisma that we are already. Bring that confidence and self-esteem that we are already. Let's start bringing those masks down and become who we truly are. That little kid that was born into this world with these amazing gifts that it has to give to the world, not what others are telling him or her to do. Because I truly believe that a lot of people that are following these, like Tony Robbins, who do you want to become, and start listing who you want to become, who you need to become, like it's something external, something that you need to copy paste from somebody else. We're losing our uniqueness. Although it doesn't look like it, we're still losing our uniqueness. Following how I have to stand up, how I have to look, how I have to speak. That is losing our uniqueness. I truly believe that we're meant to be our unique version of ourselves, nobody else. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, put them in the comments here. If you like this, let me know. And please, if you want, go check the video from this guy from Charisma on Command, because this guy is really good, don't get me wrong. But again, it's tricks on the outside when I actually would rather work on myself, right, first or at the same time, so that my true self comes out. So thank you very much for